we go. And if my mic sounds quieter than normal, or the game seems like the balance seems really off, just let me know. I got my notepad. I know this is going to be a note-taking game. This is where I've taken all my notes for various games we have played lately. So let's see what the fuck's going on. I've heard very good things about this game. I've heard a couple of I've heard mostly very good things about this game. And I've heard a couple of people being like, it starts way better than it continues to be because of a certain structural conceit, so to speak. We will see if I chafe against that, because as we know, the structural conceit of a certain other game definitely did not work for me. And I know this isn't that, but we'll see.
Of the Mount Holly estate at
Hi, Herbert.
To publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew,
Is that me?
all of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly.
I'm guessing that's me. Game's a little quiet.
And bequest is contingent.
I will turn the game up in a minute.
Grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse.
So that's what I'm committing to. I'm committing to
I have hereunto set my hand
getting into the 46th room.
March 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair.
I think that the dude speaking there might have also just been kind of quiet, because he seemed quieter than the, moody background that we have there. But I'll still turn it up in a moment. Okay. I have 50 steps. Walking does not take my steps. I have an interact button. Oh. Got a directory. Sure, the game is going to tell me how to interact. Okay, I have a move slightly faster. Oh, and I have spent a step. I might have spent a step coming into the grounds. Okay, looks like I have an interact button for that door. Okay, so my steps might get spent as I change location, which makes me kind of afraid to go out this door, for example. Gone home? Maybe a little bit. Okay, let's go down here. I should probably just go back into the foyer. Okay, I can't go in that. down there part of my grandpa's or whatever's grounds? Okay. I'm just gonna go back into the foyer. I'm sure I have already wasted my precious stepping resource. Not figuring anything else out. I don't see any obvious puzzle in that reflection. Alright. Yeah, now walking back through the door, I lost another step. So that's how my steps are working. Only open in the event of my death. Sure. Welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy. Hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as they did in the past summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume fully aware of my last wishes and all the details. Please do not mistake intentions. Giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. Okay. With that said, there are a few ground rules covered. No tools or items may be brought into the estate from outside. Tools and items found on the estate may not be taken off of the estate. You may not stay overnight. I don't suspect any of these stipulations should prove an impediment for someone resourceful as yourself, but it's very important that you start fresh each morning. Final word. Stepping limits, yeah. Do not assume the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half-century, and even I am uncertain which rooms lie beyond any particular door. Grandmother used to say, "Don't go where the path leads. Abandon the path and go where you want it to lead." Okay. So I do kind of know about the steps, and the reason why is because I know a little bit about the structure of the game, right? This game is structured, and it talked about it there, with the rooms being somewhat randomized. And this is a run-based game because of that. And it's a puzzle game, but the run-based nature of that puzzle game means that they needed something to end the run, and if this isn't like a combat game where you can die, they needed to put some other type of limitation on it. And so that's, I guess, the steps. I don't know if there's a way to increase the number of steps I get per day, during a day, anything like that. But I do understand that that must be the limiting factor of you run out of steps for the day. That is when it says you're done. Start your next run the next day after that. Let's pick up this blueprint. This will serve as a map and inventory log during my adventure. Press RT to access. Okay. Represent how much energy you have for exploring. Yeah. I can call it a day on purpose. The rooms are divided up into sections. Okay, so you're trying to get there to get to 46, but there's probably something else you have to do. Okay. And so I can see, I guess I have to build a path up to there. And then there's probably another puzzle to do. Is going to be my guess. Each time you enter a room, you'll lose one. When you no longer have any, call it a day. Yes. They're making it very clear. Make sure you know this. Now, knowing this is a puzzle game, I'm sure there are things in this room that are important. Things that seem important to me are these cards. I'm not going to mark them down now, but Like, if these change every day, that might be important. You know? Let's just open a door. Bedroom. Whenever you enter this room, gain 2 steps. Whenever you enter this room. Now, does that mean I could go, like, up and back and, like, just gain infinite steps? That seems kind of crazy. Hallway, closet. I also noticed there's definitely doorways attached to these. So, like, this closet does not have doorways. Which means, depending on what I pick here, I could seal myself off from progressing. Which is interesting. Hey, Azuma. Balatro. Not quite. So I'll do bedroom. Just for a test. I gain 2. I leave. I gain 2. I can. Oh, but you sort of spend 2, so you don't get infinite. Because leaving is 1 and entering is 1. Okay. That's fair. That's why it's 2. Because entering a room that you've already been in still costs 1. What'd you miss? Not much. We got a lady. Her necklace seems more detailed than I would have expected, so that seems important. Do I have a magnifying glass or anything? No. Okay. Or at least I don't appear to have a button that's giving me one. Trunk is locked. I mean, in general, interactables seem to put a little light up. Crowbar. Interesting. Greetings from Reddington. Can I not, like, flip this over or something? No. I can't help but notice that, like, little mark in the bottom right looks kind of like drawn with something else to me, like a pen. Actually, there's, like, parts of this that look... There are various parts of this that look like someone took a pen to it. But that part is standing out to me on the bottom right. Finger pointing down. You implying that there's something special about the carpet I should see? Unknown. A lot of paintings. I'm really surprised this magic hat doesn't have something to touch. Alright, let's keep going. Nook for a key. Pantry for money? What the hell am I spending money on? The den has lots of entrances, so let's do that one. I'm just kind of picking the ones that have as many doors as I can right now. And seeing what we see. Okay, well that's big enough that it's definitely important. Hi, phone. Why are you... Whatever. Alright, we've seen Colonel Mustard in the pantry. Maybe so, maybe so. We've seen a fair number of playing cards, I feel like, already. So seeing a 4 with what looks like diamonds, kinda, I can't help but think this painting might be a 4 of diamonds. If you get what I'm putting down. Hello, gem. I have collected 1 gem. Azuma, I want to say what you said, but I'm afraid it might be a ends in nuts type of joke. I don't trust you anymore when something ends with those letters. There's nothing else I can touch in here? Just one little gem? And that clock is pointing a certain way. Oh, the two clocks actually seem like they're matching, right? Is this one actually moving? Cannot interact with it, so I can't, like, move the hands. All the clocks are matching. They are not at, like, 6:17, so they're not matching my computer clock. So it's not going to be like one of those, ooh, change the clock on your computer to do a thing type of things. I think so little of you. And now your clip compilation will never be done. I'm sure you'll still get me sometime. Just not with that one, at least. Okay, let's look at my map real quick. We've gone those two ways. So if I go to the right, that could circle back into the entrance hall. Let's go this way first. In case we get like a closet or like a dead end. Yeah. Plus 10 steps for guest bedroom. God dang. Alright, let's do that one. Try to make this first run as long as we can, I guess. Yeah, I can go above 50. Good to know. I don't have like a soft cap. Airplane. Well, that's interesting. The map on this wall, if we assume that one marked room is meant to be the guest bedroom, it's matching where we currently are. So, like, if that E is me, this painting is tracking us, which is interesting. Seems important. Not many square rooms actually have a door on each wall. True. Just wanted to write you a quick note thanking you for the weekend. Had a thrilling time on the hunt with Lord Evanson, whose particular personality somewhat made up for your own absence. Also got to appreciate your new game in the billiard room. It's been ages. Seen the billiard room in the house. Getting to... Been ages since I've seen the billiard room in the house. I was beginning to suspect you retired the floor plan. Was well worth the wait, though. Always enjoyed your mathematical puzzles. And appreciated that I didn't know the rules of darts to play your variation. Okay. So there's going to be a billiards room. Possible. There's going to be a math puzzle in it. And the math puzzle is going to involve the dartboard. Sure. Key card. Okay. That might be important. A little sheep. Can't pick up the basketball or nothing. Alright. I'm like a little bit surprised at how few things, I guess I'm gonna say, seem directly interactable. I get the feeling there's probably gonna be some indirect interactions that I gotta learn. Like this chess piece seems important, for example. Okay, so if I did that one, it would just loop into the foyer. This would block everything off, but it gives you a bunch of stuff. This one would let me go deeper, so we're going to do this one. A journal noteworthy. As you continue on your adventure, you may want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes. Already have it. Journal will provide invaluable tool. Thank you. I expected as much. Painting of a lady. There's paintings in literally every room. These paintings are undoubtedly going to be important in some specific way. Thank you for the key. Another chess piece. Maybe the chess pieces are just there as, like, aesthetics because, ooh, chess pieces are puzzly or something. Oh, I could use the key on the footlocker, maybe. Now that you're saying it in, like, caps, I'm thinking about that. We got a bunch of extra steps. Let's go back 2 rooms. Fuck it. Oh, right. I even get 2 of those steps back. Fucking, why not? I will use the key. I got a key to the secret garden. Okay, well, is that outside? I kind of went outside, but... Going all the way back outside again seems... silly. It could be inside, that's true. And we're right here. Okay. I'm doing this because I think it's gonna be more doable now than if I went deeper. We're still above 50. Okay, so this door is locked. I thought maybe this would be the secret garden. Surprising. Is the secret garden down this path I didn't take over here? Didn't really look at that, but no interactable, alright. A dark basement. Still part of the grounds. Okay, maybe I'll get a thing at some point that lets me light these torches. I don't seem to be able to jump or anything like that. Okay. That's no secret garden. Okay. I'm gonna be pretty sad if walking out here just like says, oh, you're calling it a day. Private drive. That did count as a step, though. Are you a secret garden? Not that I can interact with. I can't seem to interact with any of these doors. Like, for a game that's about exploring a house, I'm a little... maybe surprised isn't quite the right word, but maybe it's a little bit the right word. Surprised at how much there is outside. Okay, this is like an orchard, but it might be the secret garden. Which means really maybe there's a code here to get in, and then the key is for a thing in the secret garden. I didn't think about that. Probably not worth trying to brute force that right now. Due to the rules set forth, you will not be allowed to stay in the estate overnight. Okay, so that's how... So this might be where I wake up in the future. So I might have to take, like, a step on into the house every day going forward. But this is the you can't stay in the house thing. I'm gonna stay in a tent. Okay. Maybe wasn't worth coming out here. Well, that's fine. Oh. Was that little area right there not a private drive? That might have been like the campgrounds or something. I didn't notice it take me a step away. Darn. It's fine. We're learning. Oh yeah, this door is now blocked off because of what I made on the other thing. What do we got? It's gotta be parlor because I want to be able to keep going. Hi, parlor. This black box contains gems. All three are empty. This box and the blue box are empty. This is like a one of these is lying and the other ones are telling the truth type of puzzle. That looks a lot like the key head we just got for the secret garden. Dear Herbert, great honor receiving the invitation to dine at your estate. I'm being frank, it had been quite a while since I've been seen in decent society. I'm beginning to worry wife lost. I can't read today, brain power low. If I can refresh your memory, we both spent much of the evening discussing our mutual love of games and puzzles, and I had mentioned to you a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back, involving 3 boxes of different colors. You had pressed me to write with the particulars of this game when I found the time, and I've included with this letter all the details you will need to share with your guests. Okay. There will always be at least one box which displays only true statements. There will always be at least one box that displays false statements. Only one box has a prize. Okay. So, at least one true can be 2. At least one lie. This one says all are empty, but one of them has to have a treasure, so this one has to be a lie. Meaning, either this one is true, saying the black box has it. This one is true, which also means the black box has it. This one could be a lie, though. No, both of these have to be true, and they're both pointing to the same thing. At least one of these has to be true, and they're pointing to the same thing, so this one must. Thank you for the gems. I don't know what they do, but thank you. That felt like an easy one. Well, that's okay. Got a bobby pin and a little tree. Can't touch anything back there. Alright, if I want to keep moving, we gotta go spare room or courtyard. This one requires a gem. Let's do the courtyard because of the gem requirement, and I have gems. I find that interesting. Can't go that way, makes sense. Might need a shovel to do something with that if there's like items. The guy said I can't bring items, but it doesn't mean there are no items. Yeah, now I know gems at least potentially have more... Well, I know they have at least one use, and the use is you need them for specific types of room. Potentially there could be others, but we know of at least a use for gems. I don't see any interactables in this room. Again, if I had a shovel, maybe these become interactable. I guess we'll just keep going. Pantry, spare, hallway. So right now... Oh, that's nice. You can kind of like look at the way it's going to build. That's cool. Let's do the hallway because it opens up more possible paths for now. So that door's sealed off, but it makes sense. It's sealed off because we already made a room next to it that doesn't have a doorway connecting. So you need to have the doorway on both sides of it, right? And that makes sense. I get that. Hi, hallway. We got a painting with a lock on it. I would be, like, interested if I had a key. If I could, like, suddenly start interacting with the painting of a lock. Doors in the West Wing are more likely to be locked. Oh? So... Does it mean, like, the whole half? Or does the West Wing just mean from this hallway? Like, anything I build to the left of this hallway now is going to be more likely to be locked? Or if just anything on this half of the board is more likely to be locked? That is, of course, assuming... Yes. Good point, Rosered. I just came to the same conclusion. That is assuming that this blueprint is oriented along the cardinal directions. Which we don't know for sure. They could be playing with that. It would be kind of a mean thing to play with in that way, but they could. Let's go this way first. Chapel would let us go straight across, but you lose a money. I don't have any money. Security. View inventory of all items currently in the house. Interesting. Corridor is always left unlocked. Seems like a weird, very specific stipulation. Let's do security. I'm interested, and I have a gem. I wonder if I'm only seeing these gem rooms because I have a gem. I noticed the last room on, like, at least 2 out of the last 3 rooms we've made has always been a gem room. Oh, cutscene? Weird. I look like kind of a, I don't know, just regular ass dude. White bread boy? Yeah, kinda. What is going on here? Having a room that gives me a cutscene is weirding me out a wee bit. Uh-huh. So there's a bunch of cameras in a bunch of rooms. Suppose that's interesting. Getting a preview, that might be the chapel? That's me. Pointing at myself. My God. Alright, game, made that seem like way more meaningful than I would have expected, but alright. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff. Effective first week of December, payroll for all live out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically. Tenants no longer registered in the morning roll call. Doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out. Sure. 2 of these terminals can be found at security. In the laboratory. Okay. Password is scribbled out. I think the first letter might be an S. An S or an 8. Alright, I'm gonna write terminal password just in case we find like a bunch of pieces of that at some point. Terminal password. That seems like a thing we're gonna want to figure out at some point. I'm gonna write S for now. A little arrow that also shows an 8. Okay. Until further notice, the antechamber has been unlocked and access levers are no longer required to grant entry. Okay. Keycard access security doors are more likely to appear in the higher ranks of the estate. Not exactly sure what that means, but likewise, as redundant security measure, normal doors in the estate will also be more likely to be locked as you progress north. So, if we assume cardinal directions, the implication that the further you go in here, the more likely things will be locked seems to make sense. And if this is north, we can call this west, so that is, you know, decent. I feel like not crazy to assume. A road and a fishing pole. Where's the punch-in thingy? Said there was one in here. Can't help but kind of wonder. Hello? Press enter. View inventory. The following is a detailed list of items currently in the house that have yet to be collected. Okay. So I've collected everything as far as fruits, gems, keys, and coins that I have spawned. But it's not showing me, like, potential future. It's only showing me what has been made already. Got it. Keycard system. Operational. Change security level. Why would I ever want this higher than low? Change offline mode. With unlocked. That seems smart. Great. Security menu. Log into network. So this is what the terminal password is for, which I don't have. Okay. Locks are still running. Blue memos trues, red memos lies. Okay. So antechamber has been locked. And access levers are required to grant entry. But this is true. Security doors are more likely to appear in the higher ranks of the estate. We saw a red memo, I want to say, on the other side of that. And that was the one about west side being more likely to be locked. So west actually might be less likely to be locked. And this side is more likely to be locked. So there's another thing for us to pay attention to. Seems important to know. Red memos are lies. Wait. There's something else written under it. Unless... I think it says unless written by hand. Okay. So this one is printed. It's a lie. If a red memo is written by hand, it is still true. You can already feel clues slipping. So far, these are just kind of like basic structural, so I'm not actually writing that much down. But the unless written in or by hand, I'll write a memo for that one to myself. Memos. Blue equals true. Because, you know, we might spend a week between these. It's probably going to be a good idea to have this kind of thing written. Red equals lie. Unless handwritten. Okay. I see any, like, text on any of these video types? They all look like they have the same text on them. I don't see anything behind. Okay. We've been in there. Means we're going this way. Multiple gem rooms required. You may draw new floor plans while drafting in this room. What the fuck does that mean? Experimental house features. Well, we're not doing the lavatory either way because that cuts us off. Let's do this one because it has the most doors possible. Hello. This room is full of paintings. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen more paintings with cards in them. Oh, it might let me be changing the arrangement. You're right. Each time you click on a door, you will draw 3 floor plans from which you must select one to draft. However, some items in rooms that will allow you to redraw do not like your initial 3 options. So this one might just let me pick more than once for drawing rooms, is what it actually is saying. By clock. Not that much I can interact with in here, huh? Okay. Yeah, so I can redraw on this one. Rompus Room lets us go forward. Requires a gem, we can't do it. Storeroom gives us a bunch of shit. But it cuts off everything. I don't want to do that here. Observatory, chapel. Observatory goes back and needs a gem. So we'll do chapel here. And this side, let's see what we get. Keys for sale. Okay, so I might be able to buy keys in the future. Pantry gives money and moves north. Or we could draw 3 more. Pantry seems okay for what we're doing. Let's do pantry. And since we don't currently have money, we'll do the chapel first. So that we don't lose money by coming in and out, you know? We could go south if we have to, but we don't need to. More chess piece. Bishop in the chapel is apt. Ooh. Roman numerals. So 1 is an angel with a hoe. Two is an angel that's a chef. This might be more like what they are, what their vocation is. Maybe not. They might all be farmers. Alright. Hoe. This one looks like a chef, so that's a, I don't know what the fuck to call it. But number 2. 3 is like a hay bale fucking pitchfork. 4. Is that a sword? No. Is that a chimney sweep? I'm not fully sure what 4 is holding. 5 is a broom. 6. That's a riding crop. 7 is a scepter and shield. 8 behind this thing. I can't see what 8 has, because I'm assuming it's behind this. Okay. This seems like a notes room. Chapel. One, Ho to I forgot what it was already. Oh right, like cooking thing that I can't remember the name of. 3 pitchfork. Four, couldn't tell. 5. Is the broom. 6 was the riding crop, yeah. Seven was the scepter and shield. And we don't know if there's an 8 behind that, but I think there might be. Okay. Let's go this way. Oh, patio only goes to the left. These are not good rooms for what we need. If I do this, I lose the money. But getting the gem and the key might be worth it. Yeah. If I have to end this path either way. Oh. What if the amount of money you put into the chapel determines the item you get? Well, we're about to go back in there. We'll find something out, I guess. Key, a gem, and money. We got them all. Here's another card. Same Queen of Diamonds. That was in the foyer. So anyway, how was everybody's weekend? Did they get to do anything? I mostly cleaned my house. Because Lord knows I'm bad about doing that. I do kind of miss having someone to live with because it meant we could hold each other accountable for, hey, let's clean the house once a month. At the minimum. Not that I'd never clean anything in my house at a month at a time, but I'm definitely just kind of like, oh, this is looking kind of nasty, I should do something about it. When I probably should be like, every week, let's do something. Alright, I'm just gonna cut this side off too, because I can't, like, build all the way around. Closet just says 2 items. Let's try closet and just see what the fuck that means. I got a metal detector. Okay. And a gem. So that might have been random? Unsure. But getting closet early might be worth it in the future. I also just noticed rank 3. So if this is rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. When we go back to the chapel, I'm going to double check if it says rank 4 in the corner. How late you go into a room might matter. It does say rank 4. Okay. What tier of level here we're on might have important consequences when it comes to what the fuck we're doing. Interesting. Grab all the money. Thank you, metal detector. Grab an apple. Plus 2 steps, okay. You find fruit, get steps. Pantry might always have a fruit in it or something. Bridget, please pick up some more fruit before Friday, as we've just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough. I think an even spread would be ideal. Is that you can get a total of 50 more steps by finding all the fruit? Enclosed amount should cover expenses, but please bring back any change from the order and leave it in the pantry. Oh no, but if I just picked up the 4... Oh, but that might have been the change. I don't know. There was an apple there. I'm going to assume they bought what they needed already. Yesterday you did a 3-hour Zoom call with your bestie in California. That's fun. I spent most of my weekend watching shit. Watching shit, washing shit. And that's pretty much it. Alright, well this closes off, so we gotta do corridor. The only one that doesn't close off. Stocks are going up. Hat. Corridor is always open. So maybe that's saying, like, no matter what, this door would never be locked. I guess is the only real big use there. Commissary requires a gem. Items for sale. Observatory goes back left. +1 star for each... The fuck does that mean? Let's do this one because I'm interested in what the hell a star means. We have 2 gems.